Welcome, fellow trackers. I'm Nick Metzger, and my partner, my co-host in crime, is none other than Mr. Sean Abbott, and we are so happy that you're here this week. This week being July 18th. It's a Thursday, and we are going to be talking about how sales are down, how the Master Chief himself on the big screen, well, the small screen, whatever, is down, but not all is lost. Our Fire Sticks are hot. And we've been streaming some xCloud, and we'll be chatting about that. But before we get into all that good jazz, Sean, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. I've just eaten a Twister lolly because it's ridiculously warm and humid in the UK right now. We've gone from it being like miserable 12 degrees Celsius. I don't know the offhand for Fahrenheit there, but 12 degrees Celsius,
I'll work on
constant rain to... like today being 24 degrees Celsius today, bright sunshine. So all that rain that has fallen and sat in all of the trees and the grasses and the bushes have just kind of risen and made everything humid.
Mm-hmm. So what's the temperature now? It was 53 degrees Fahrenheit for my American friends. What is it? What is it?
24 was the high today. Tomorrow's going to be 28.
28. So for
70,
so 82. 82 is, well, I don't know. Sean, I gotta ask you.
82 is not. It's not bad when you're used to that.
Yeah,
we get this kind of weather for like 2 or 3 weeks maximum in the UK, and it's always followed by a shit ton of rain. So everything's just humid all the time. Mm-hmm. It's not nice. It's hot. And when you're a big, like, set person like me and things like that who sweats easy anyway, if there's no breeze and it's humid, it's just awful. I have walked around all day today just dripping. It's not nice.
And the fact,
so I apologize for that. I apologize for that absolutely horrific like audio image in your head there, everybody. But yeah, it's not nice.
No, you're fine. Sean's a sponge right now, sitting crisscross applesauce. That's what he's saying. Here's the thing. I did not realize that, like, until we started to hang out and chat, that, like, you guys just had no need or never had, like, residences just don't have AC. Like, I just don't, that's just not a thing. Like, I just don't, it's hard for me to, if you went to, like, a HVAC guy, which, I don't know, do you just call them HVs over there? Because for that's, would they install an air conditioning unit for you? Or they'd be like, nah, that just doesn't exist?
Yeah, there's a house on the estate where I live. When I walk the dog, I walk past his house, and he's got the air conditioning vents. You can see them. It's like there's 4 units outside, and they obviously you can see like the ventilation, everything, like all the ducting that goes into different parts of the house. Mm-hmm. So people do have it.
Okay.
Because when it gets warm in the UK, it can sometimes get stifling. And like our houses over here are built to try and keep as much heating as possible. So like when it reaches, what was it last year? It peaked at 34 degrees Celsius last year, which is like which is in the 90s, I believe, high 90s for you guys. Mm-hmm. On a night when it cooled down and the temperature outside dropped, the inside of our house stayed at 36 degrees.
Gotcha.
So and we couldn't drop it, no matter how much you open windows, had like pedestal fans on and stuff like that. You just can't. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just awful. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's it. So, also, I imagine the guy with the air conditioning that I just like see this guy as some like snob dude that's got a house that's bigger than everybody else's, and he's just like up there in a robe, just like looking. Everybody's sweating. He's just like sipping his mug of like hot cocoa,
sipping his tea.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, tea. You're right.
I used to have in my old house. I used to have a portable. Like AC unit, which is a 90 BTU, which I don't understand what that means, but it was a big thing. And I used to be able to, like, when it was really hot, I used to be able to stick the hose out the window and like close the window. And I'd made a little thing that sat in the window, so it basically blow back in on itself. And I used to be able to put that on, and it could drop the room to like 16 degrees Celsius, like 23 Fahrenheit. It's just drop it like crazy. It was ace. But I think I left that when I moved house and I moved everything out. I think that was the one thing that I left, because it used to be stuck in this perfectly sized cupboard that it would just roll into in the hallway, and I can't remember emptying it. So
yeah, well, I'm gonna fleece right now because I'm in the basement, and we need to turn the air off. It was like 95, which is Let me see. Let me do the math for you. That's 35 degrees Celsius for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. But now it's a cool like 75, 80. So we need to turn it off, but we haven't yet. So now the basement, it's like a freaking ice cube. So I told you I could literally be in a parka right now, and I would still be just fine. It is chilly, man. So that's funny, or ironic might be the right word. So other than the sweating and the temperature, how's life?
It's good. The kids are on I say the kids. Emily's currently away at camp. She's like they've done a residential camp for the last week at high school, so she's gone off to do that. I haven't seen her since Monday morning, I think. Well, yeah, I haven't seen her since Monday morning. So it should be interesting to see what stage she comes back in. She's coming back and going to her mum's first, so I can't wait for the photos to see what stage she comes back in.
Mm-hmm.
Logan's on the massive wind down. He finishes school this Friday, so he's super excited. He's 42 days away from school. So
nice.
You can't just say 6 weeks. He wants it to be in days because he counts his days down for going back to school. So there's that.
Is he excited about that or sad about that?
He's super excited.
Yeah. My kids are still at the excited age too. I'm waiting for that to switch.
And Lindsay finishes her job tomorrow. She's changing schools as of the summer holidays. So she finishes at the high school she's at, and then after the 6-week break, when she goes back to work, she's going to start working at Logan School. So
nice. Yeah. So actually, ironically, my daughter is in summer school, which is a thing that we have around here. It's just it's like I call it lightweight school. Usually, it focuses on like a certain category that they may possibly need a little extra help in, and it's only like I drop her off at 8 and she's done at 11:30. And sometimes I wonder what she's like. Oh, I don't know. We colored some pictures and did something. I'm like, what are you doing in there, really? But whatever. She seems to enjoy it, so that's all that matters. So I think she really enjoys it because she gets to hang out with her friends again that she hasn't seen for like the last, 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. So yeah, she's doing that. But Sean, I do have a Microsoft story for you.
Ooh, I like these.
Yeah, this is not unrelated to Xbox. That's why it's in this segment. So we are hiring a new employee at the office, and I bought a computer for her, and we have our own little we're a small organization, but we have our own domain, and so we have to log users and assign them licenses and blah 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 blah. And so I did that, and then I went to add her work account to the computer, and it would not add. It was just no, it gave me this error number, and it wouldn't register. So I tried, I dinked around, couldn't figure it out. Called Microsoft. For the last 2 days, I've spent 2 hours, cumulative, an hour yesterday, hour today, on the phone with Microsoft. They had me change the register keys of the computer, do basic coding, basically. Do stuff in this Entra and this Intune. I don't know. I did so much stuff in these 2 hours. All this thing. And at one point the guy was like, well, what is your policies for all this? And I was like, buddy, I don't even know what you're talking about. We don't have, I put in the credentials and it works. And he's like, no, that's not how that works. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. So anyways, finally I hang up from him and I decide to search. There's this one app, this Azure app that I can't get into. So I decide to search, why can't I get into this Azure app? The first thing that comes up is this guy that says, oh, I had the problem of not being able to log in, and all I had to do was change my clock. And I'm like, and so I looked down at the clock, and now I just got this computer. So I haven't fine-tuned everything yet, right? But they knew this because they could see everything. They were using the Quick Assist app, so they could literally see my clock and everything. And nobody ever asked me about this. I look down, yeah, my clock's not right at all. It's 4 hours off. So I click on it, look at it. I have to change the time zone, have it search via the internet. Once I do that, it logs into the Eastern time zone that we're in, changes the time, everything's great, the date's right now, awesome. And I'm like, there's no freaking way that this is the problem. It's just not possible. So then I go to log in. F me if it doesn't just immediately connect. It's oh yeah, we know who you are now. That's great. Just immediately connects. 2 hours. of like high level IT crap that I did for Microsoft, and nobody was ever like, sometimes it might be the clock. I'm telling you. So
see, that's it. Well, I can kind of understand why, because I'm assuming that the clock at the server end would have been like, well, we have it at this time, and your position on with your IP server, like IP number and everything, would have been like, we know you're in this place, so we know it should be this time, but your computer says it's not this time. So are you lying about where you are? And
yeah, I believe it's I believe it's some type of a safety feature so that people from afar aren't trying to log in under. I think that's what it is. I don't really know, to be honest. All I know is that I spent 2 hours doing stuff that I have no idea what I did. Or what I was being told to do. I was just praying that it worked, and it never did. So actually, I'm supposed to get a call back tomorrow, because this is what he told me. He had me change like 4 or 5 things on the network, and I went to log back in. I was like, no, it's still not working, pal. And he's like, well, sometimes you have to let the network reset. So I'll call you tomorrow, which I was pretty sure meant I don't want to freaking deal with this anymore today. So let me just have 24 hours to not deal with you, which that's fair. I understand. We had tried a lot of stuff.
That's definitely IT talk for I'm done now. Sorry. Goodbye.
I'm shutting down. Also, I've missed 3 breaks dealing with your crap, so I need to now have a break. So, anyways, but that's my Microsoft unrelated to Xbox story. To be fair, I do really appreciate their apps. They normally work really well. I never knew that the clock had to be spot on for to log in, but there you go.
So the takeaway from this is check your clock.
Check your clock,
if you ever have an issue with Microsoft and trying to log into something, make sure your time zone's right.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I noticed yesterday, I was like, oh, crap, the clock's not right. But, I got bigger fish to fry here. I can't even get the applications to work. I'll fix the clock later. Who cares about that? Well, no, that was my fish to fry.
Look at little things first.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. So, yeah. But that summer school, Noah's doing good with his tonsils out. He's about to go back to playing soccer and being able to do all the things, so he's excited about that. Unhappy about having lost access to unlimited fries and ice cream, but there are trade-offs. So
rough with the smooth. No, rough with the smooth.
And but other than that, life's pretty good, man.
Well, before we move into the XP and start talking about all the top stories that we're going to be talking about this week, I'll go for the housekeeping. And then we'll carry on with the show. We'll talk about some actual Xbox stuff. So if you want to find our show or the people that help us out with the backing of the show, just search on any social networking app for GPT Gaming News. If you're watching this on X or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, you already know where we are. But please subscribe, like, follow, hit those buttons, and show us some love and support. If you've got any questions or any thoughts, or you want to have a chat with us, you can get hold of myself, you can get hold of Nick, you can get hold of the other members of the team, and over 2,000 public members by chatting to us in a public Discord that we've got which is a VGT, which is Video Game Tracker. You can join us there. You can chat with us anywhere, and for anything really. You talk about what you had for tea. You can talk about what games you've been playing, and you can ask us how just we're doing in general life. If you wish. If you're liking what you're hearing and you'd love to, leave us a review. If you listen to us via audio, this is via audio listeners out there. But if you listen to us on a podcast app, please use that. Go and give us a review if you can, or give us some stars, thumbs up, anything like that. Helps us grow, helps us reach more fans. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show if we didn't talk about the Xbox, the Big Daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. So if you love Game Pass and you love the show and you want to show us support and you want to subscribe to one of the new tiers, the many, many new tiers that's out there, or the ones that are already out there but slightly changed ever so slightly, you can do by using the code in the show notes in the chat. Head over to the Xbox.com website, sign up to Game Pass, and go from there. Not only will you be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker show, but you're also signing up to the best gaming subscription going, which is, of course, Xbox Game Pass. So sign up to whatever level you desire, be that PC Game Pass Core, Standard, or Game Pass Ultimate, I had to make sure I get the right ones there this time. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat show notes, and you'll help to continue to create the awesome content that we love to make for you guys, our amazing fans. So now I have once again tripped over my own words several times in all that. Let's go into the X feed and talk about our top stories and news bulletins for this week.
It's the X feed where we have all the conversations about the top stories, news bulletins, and feature story. We have 4. Count them, 4 top stories. And the first one, well, the first one's kind of a bummer, I guess. The console sales are down a third in Europe with a weaker software lineup. Sean, you need to be buying some more Xboxes. That's obviously what the takeaway from this.
Yeah, it is, but I think this isn't just with Microsoft itself. I think this is actually across the board. So PS5s are down 16%, Switches is down 32%, and the Series X and S is down by 37%. But we've got things like the mid-gen refresh for the Sonys. So that's probably alluded to them having a little bit more. They're making a cheaper console with some extra bits and pieces and some lesser bits and pieces. So it's making it more affordable for people to get in there. The Nintendo Switch, the sales been down on that. Everybody's waiting for the Switch 2, which didn't get announced in the showcase this year from Nintendo, shockingly. But, it's just not there. And with the Series X and the Series S, if you're going to make the decision to be an Xbox player, you'll have bought them by now. They're out. They've been out a while. They've been easy to get hold of. They were easier to get hold of during COVID and stuff like that, rather than the PS5s were. So everybody that was going to make that migration to the Xbox kind of ecosystem has already done that. So I'm not surprised to see that tail off at this point, where the Series X is 3 or 4 years old now.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, listen, the real winner here is Switch, let's be honest. They're not last place in the drop of sales, and their console's like what? 8 years old? 8. I think it's 8. 8 years old. So, I mean, I don't know. And now, granted, they have a handheld, right? So, like, am I going to have 4 Xboxes in the house? No, I'm not. But am I going to have 4 Switches? I didn't think I would, but I sure do. So, I guess there you go,
Yeah, I'm the same. I have 4 Switches in the house.
Yeah.
How bizarre is that?
Yeah.
But no, the thing is, they have the Switch Lite, they have the OLED, they have the OG, and they do collectible consoles as well. So like they're doing the Switch Lite for the new Zelda game that's coming out later on this year, which I think has already been dropped. I think that's already out and about.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they make their sales up quite easily. Is they have those collector consoles. It's kind of hard to do when your Xbox console is like a couple of £100 and quite expensive. A Switch console isn't as expensive as a Series S or a Series X console, especially with the skins like the SpongeBob skin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a more of a niche market to kind of aim for.
The argument then though is like, well, why? We talk about it quite often. Feel like every other podcast at least. But like so and normally we talk about it in the sense of like, man, we'd really like a handheld. A handheld would be great. Well, why don't? I mean, if you look at these sales, why don't they do a handheld? Do they just not think that Xbox players want a handheld? Because I can tell you, if that's what you think, Phil, you're wrong on my side. I don't know about anybody else, but I'd buy. I mean, unless you really built a shitty one, I'd buy a handheld in an Xbox like specific first party handheld console in a heartbeat.
And see, I think that's where lays the problem, is that they can't build a decent handheld. I don't think it's possible to build. And I think this is why we haven't seen the Switch 2 yet. Is because I don't think it's possible to build a handheld console that has the power to kind of demonstrate how great the games are. So you want that portability. You want the portability of a Series X console or a Series S console in your hands without having to spend stupid money. Like the Steam Deck, when that first dropped, they were stupid money.
Yeah,
they were like £1,000. You can buy a fucking gaming rig, with a PC gaming rig for that kind of money, just for you to carry it around with you. Now you've got you've got the Rally, you've got Nvidia's, you have what's the other one? Or is it Steam Deck? Yeah. So you've got those three kind of things that are out there that can do it. They're all third party hardware devices. And I don't think they deliver. I don't think they fully can deliver the graphics or the power that comes with a Series X and S, which is why I think Xbox haven't done their own, because I don't think they can go down that route. I think that's why we haven't seen the Switch 2, because it's difficult to get that level of technology into something that's handheld, lightweight, like ergonomic, so it's comfortable in your hands as well. I think it's a struggle. So.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean that sure. If I'll bring logic into it, Sean, that's fine. Whatever. No, you're definitely that's a thing for sure. But I don't know. I still think if they wanted a boost of sales, figuring out this handheld thing, and it doesn't have to be whatever price the Switch is at anymore. I don't know. It's been a while since I bought one, but they're like $250 or something like that now, I think, or maybe $200. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't have to be exactly that price, but man, I think they could come up. I think they could come up with something, and I would be. You know what? If they came up with one that had the power of the S, which I think is doable, because I have so much developing knowledge in hardware sales. I'm absolutely none, people, but I really do feel like they can get to that point. If they even got to that point, I'd be happy. Now, granted, I know I'm not your average Xbox person that like bleeds for good graphics. So I appreciate that. I understand that. But man, if I could have that and have my games on the go, like, or have my games on the couch while my wife is watching whatever she's watching on TV, that also would be fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, the OLED has really good depth of color. So like when I was playing Metroid Dread when the OLED Switch came out, I was blown away with how like an OLED screen actually looks in your hand. I'd never really used one other than on my phone. And you kind of, when you're using it on your phone, you kind of become accustomed to that's how like a phone screen looks. Your applications look a certain way on your phone. You get accustomed to that. So to then go play a game with that level of color and clarity was really good. But the Switch kind of lacks in computing power, like, and you've mentioned this when you've played a game on Game Pass, and then you go and play the same game on the Switch, and you're like, I can flick through 7 or 8 different tutorial hints in the time it takes the Xbox to do too. And I think that's where it lets them down. They kind of understand that people who want to play games want the game to kind of press A to start and then the game start, not press A to start and then sit there for 2 minutes while the loading screen goes through. Then like it loads into a cutscene, and that cutscene takes a while to start because it's got to wait for everything to catch up. I think that's where they'll struggle.
Yeah, man, I just playing Gang Beasts with my kids. I mean, even just Gang Beasts with my kids. When we go into a match, sometimes it'll hang. I'm playing on the Switch. Sometimes it'll just hang, and it'll just sit there and spin, and I'm like, like, what's happening here? But it kicks through finally. But it's like I don't know. It's got to like process some stuff. So, now, granted, I think we're playing on the old like the OG one. I think it's the OG one. I can't remember anymore. I have too many.
Yeah, but they didn't change anything inside the Switch, the OLED Switch from the OG Switch. They didn't change any of the processing stuff.
That's true.
They literally just changed the screen. So,
but back to Xbox. I think they need to figure out how to do this. They need to figure out a handheld. If they want their sales to go up, man, I think that's the way to do it. I really do. Would you buy, and I know there's one of these already, I think it's the Rogue Ally or the Nvidia or something like that. Would you buy a streaming handheld? An xCloud handheld?
No.
An X-held? I don't know. I'm just trying to find a name for it.
An X-held. I wouldn't, because of most of the places I go, I don't get regular internet connection, or I have internet connection that's controlled by an administration that has firewalls in place for things like games and gaming. So I wouldn't. I'd like one that I could like pick maybe 2 or 3 games I could have downloaded and play. And when I'm saying handheld playing, I wouldn't want to play things like Call of Duty, Fortnite, like online multiplayers. I'd like to download Cheer. Like if I could download Cheer and have it on a handheld, take it with me, and like fire it up and it just start exactly where I was. Yeah, I'd be happy for that. And Smasher on X, he's in the chat at the moment. I agree with him in terms of how Xbox has gone with the Fire Stick. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the feature story, but I think they're going in the right direction with the Fire Stick and the cloud gaming in that way rather than handheld. Stick it in your TV. It works really well. Looks fantastic. Super accessible. I think that is their step for play anywhere at the moment that they're focusing on. I don't think it's going to be a handheld. So, but we'll get to our feelings on the Fire Stick later on in the feature story because we both have one and we've both tried it and we have thoughts on it. So.
That is true. All right, moving on. Story number 2. Xbox adds NVIDIA GeForce Now integration to its game pages. So if I understand this correctly, on the Xbox, like you can choose, or on the store page, you can choose whether to start these streams. So GeForce Now, by the way, is their partner for the streaming games that is it all streaming games or just the ones that they got from? No, we've seen. It's all because Forza Horizon, Minecraft, and even Bethesda's new IP Starfield. So no, it's not just like Activision Blizzard. So.
Yeah, I'm going to say I think it is all of them. I think they are leaning on their servers a little bit to kind of, and I think this is why we're seeing some disruptions because there's currently disruptions on the Xbox service at the moment. And I think that's why we're seeing some of these disruptions is because they're working with this integration quite quickly and quite well. But obviously, when you've got millions of people trying to use a service at the same time as you're updating it, there is going to be issues. So
this is Xbox.com. You can not the console, but if you're on the Xbox.com website, you go to a game, you have the option, do you want to play it? If you want to stream it, do you want to stream it from Xbox Cloud Gaming or NVIDIA GeForce Now?
Yep. So I think this is a way of meeting some of the CMA.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about that.
You mentioned that earlier when we were DMing back and forth, and I agree with you on that. I agree that this is some way of meeting the CMA that they are allowing a third party to help them with the cloud integration.
Do you think this list is just going to grow? Like, I mean, there is a whole bunch. We were talking about it a couple of years ago. Like, they cut deals with streaming companies that are apparently pretty big, but I didn't ever even heard of. So do you think this list is just going to keep growing? Like, there's going to be like 4 or 5 options by the time we're done here?
Yeah, and I think this is what, and I'll look back to it because we're having disruptions on the Xbox service at the moment, I'll look back to it, I think this is why we're seeing disruptions on the Xbox service. I think they are downloading or installing all the stuff that they have on the xCloud servers onto these other servers, and then the integration of a handshake between them is happening, and they're having gremlins, which, we've been making this show for 4 years and had gremlins sometimes when we've started. So, it's nice to see that not only do we have gremlins, but big companies like Microsoft also have gremlins when they're trying to do a live service.
Yeah, huge outage. Huh? A large, and it's the accounts and profiles again, which is big. Because sometimes if you can't make that first handshake, no matter what device you're on, no matter even if you have it downloaded, sometimes you still can't. Yep. You still can't play it. That's what happened to me with Sandrock, a couple weeks ago when they had that outage. This looks like exactly. This feels like exactly the same thing that happened a couple weeks ago for them.
Yep. And then what we've seen from a couple of weeks ago to now is we've seen the integration of the Xbox service via the xCloud on Amazon Fire Sticks. So they must have had to give that information and some handshakes with the Amazon servers to allow that. So I think this is the integration with the NVIDIA GeForce Now. I think that's a little bit of that, and then some teething problems. So, and it was it wasn't done quickly a couple of weeks back, but it was like an overnight job. Everything went back to normal. So, hang on to your hats. It will be back. They know what they're doing, but it's all for the greater good, I believe. I think they're trying to expand their server portfolio, so people are queuing to play their xCloud games because they have an understanding now that there's going to be loads of people that during Amazon Prime Day that have fired some cash into Amazon Prime and bought a new Fire Stick, like us do.
Yeah.
So they can play games via the cloud. So.
Well, I think you're right. Now I'm just excited to see if they're kicking off the making good on their contracts. Now I'm just waiting to see when the Switch's contracts kick in. We're going to start playing some of these games on the Switch. Interested to see that. Anyways, story number 3, Xbox teasing a mysterious game drop later this month. Rumors that it may be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
So, yeah, this comes from Xbox Insiders. They've kind of started the rumor mill that they believe it's going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. As we get into Game Pass headlines later, there's absolutely nothing on the list so far for games that are coming out next week. So this rumor does hold some weight, and Xbox Insiders are usually pretty good with this. It would be good to see. I'd be excited for it because it means I can actually start playing multiplayer rather than just Warzone all the time, and make way on the new shell-shaded skins and levels that are coming with Season 5, which would be nice. Yeah. I'm excited to see a start of Activision rolling games out onto the Game Pass catalog.
Yeah, I totally agree, Sean. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be Modern Warfare 3, but something's coming because this is a really weird drop of Game Pass games, which, I mean, we'll talk about later. But to only like fill out half a week in their drop of games, I can't even think of a time where that's all they've given us, which is just like maybe during the holiday season, if it's like close to Christmas or something, they'll just be like, yeah, here's a thing right before Christmas. But I don't know.
The only time I've known this is when we weren't getting many games back in like 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, you're right. And finally, story number 4, the saddest of them all. Halo is getting shut down. No season 3 for us folks who wish it were to be. But I will say, I thought it was really good. I saw Halo in a different way with this show, and I hope they take that into the games and start really really being okay to play with it. And I'm sorry if you like die hard like Halo's got to be like this fans totally disagree with me, but like I want to see. I'm okay if I'm not Master Chief. Can I just say that? I'm okay if I'm not Master Chief and I get to be like. If I get to be some like grunt that makes my way up in some open worldy type way, like open that world up. You've got a cool world. Do something with it. I hope they'll learn some stuff from this.
I'm genuinely sad that they are doing a season 3 because it took me a while to watch it. You watched it like off the bat, and it took me a while to kind of make that bridge to watch it and to see Master Chief. Kind of grow and have a personality rather than him just be this absolute badass all the time. I enjoyed that the lead character was played by who he was played. I thought he did a fantastic job of bringing personality to him. So I'm genuinely sad for this because especially as it left season 2, it's such a cliffhanger. Like they got into the ring and like what comes next now, and I've been kind of like keeping my eye to the ground a little bit, or my ear to the ground a little bit. Sorry, on listening for rumors and rumblings of when this would be coming next. So quite sad to know that it's not. Pretty bummed about that.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, they gave us no inclination if it's numbers or cost or what. They just said Paramount can confirm that Halo will not move forward with a 3rd season on the service. We are extremely proud of this ambitious series and would like to thank our partners at Xbox 343 Sears and Amblin TV Television, along with the showrunner and executive producer David his fellow executive producers, the entire cast led by Pablo Schreiber as Master Chief, and the amazing crew for all their outstanding work. We wish everyone going forward the best. So, no,
if somebody picks
no
somebody
real
else picks
info.
it up, if somebody else picks it up and runs with it, then I'd be pretty excited.
Yeah,
but yeah, Paramount seems to do this quite often. They seem to cancel shows often.
Oh yeah,
I believe. Like I've watched the whole first season of Twisted Metal, and I'm waiting for the second season. But I have a feeling that that's not going to come either. So
it is true. I believe is Paramount my. I know I've talked about this a couple times, but we got super addicted to this Joe Pickett show, and I believe Paramount that was on Paramount, and they just canceled that too. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm bummed, but not shocked. I think you're right, Sean. Somebody could pick it up, or they could try to shop it to somebody else. That's not like the first time we've ever seen anything like that, especially with the streaming services. So hopefully we get a season 3.
And just very quickly, Smasher, who is all over the chat over on X, he says the same as you. He really wishes that they'd done some more non-Master Chief story instead of bringing the series to a game. That he's also just it's just a bummer all around the state of Halo. Infinite took ages to grow into its own, and now it's very stagnant. We have no idea what's next for Halo. So
yeah, we don't. I was surprised we didn't get a hint of something at this last showcase. So
yeah, and I think the announcement as well that came that 343 are only overseeing stuff that's happening. They're not actually actively working on development. They're just kind of sat there making sure that people are sticking to the law and bits and pieces. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if we got info on Halo for 2026, which I know makes people cringe, but we have big stuff coming for 2025. I mean, like Fable, if all the dates stick. So we have what.
And Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears. So we have some big titles coming in 2025. If we showcase a cool Halo in 2026, I think the open world thing is really awesome. We just need to flesh out the open world and make it, an actual open world, and not rush the last half of the game so that there really is no open world in the last half and it just reverts back to old Halo. I think that would be cool. See what they do. That's all of our top stories. We got some news bulletins here for you, folks. Excited to announce that the Fallout TV series, no shocker here, has been nominated for loads of Emmys awards at the 2024 show. That's only good news for Bethesda and Microsoft, because I know it feels like everybody in the world knows about Fallout, but I bet they don't. There are a bunch of people who watch the Emmys that are probably going to be like, the Fallout show? What's that? And then all the better for them. Yep. So good on them. And yes, the Xbox has made a new controller with Deadpool's booty on the back. Well, I haven't seen this, Sean. I'm reading this for the first, not the first. Yeah. What is this?
You go look at that while I talk about it.
It looks like it's Peach. No joke. It's actually his crack. Oh my gosh.
This obviously comes ahead of the Deadpool Wolverine film, which drops July 26th next week. I'm super excited for the film. I love Deadpool. I love I enjoyed the comics. I've always enjoyed his integration into the Marvel world, and the fact that Ryan Reynolds, who seemed to have been birthed and raised purely to play this role, has done it so well, is unreal. So I'm super excited to see him and Hugh Jackman kind of do that crossover that everybody has always been waiting for. So,
So this is just for the sweepstakes. You can't actually buy this. That's a bummer.
No, it's a limited edition, win it, show it off kind of deal. But if you want to grip Deadpool's tush while you're playing your favorite Xbox game, going into the sweepstakes over at the Xbox.com website and give it a go.
Well, I'm gonna have to see, man. Like, I don't know, the likelihood that whoever wins this is listening is low. But if you win this, like hit us up. Hit us up, and we would love to like chat with you about winning this crazy controller with this amazing. Sean, where do you put this thing? You think those two swords, by the way, because the console is also decked out in Deadpool gear. It looks like his like torso, and in the back has got 2 swords. You think those 2 swords come out? Like, can you like pull them out? Or you think it's just decorative?
I'd hope so.
I'd hope so too. I'm with you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say about that controller is it's going to take away from the ergonomics of you holding it. Your fingers aren't going to wrap around the bottom of it. You are literally going to be putting your fingers on his ass cheeks.
Do you turn on the Xbox at this point, or does the Xbox turn you on? That's the real question.
And our next news bulletin, which can lead us into our feature story. Amazon, during Amazon Prime Day, only in the US, as I tried to look for this in the UK, was selling a nice bundle where you got, was it 3 months of Game Pass?
Yeah, but you had to be a new Game Pass member.
Yeah, so you had to be a new Game Pass member. You would get an Xbox Series S controller, which is the...
Whitey.
I can't remember the name, but the white controller. And 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate and the Amazon Fire Stick 4K.
Max.
You buy that in a bundle.
I
think it was $69 or $80, something like
that. Yes, it was $78.99.
So $78.99, which, to be honest, a controller's almost that.
Steal.
A Fire Stick was just a little bit less than that, and 3 months of Game Pass at the full price is almost that. Really good fucking deal.
Yeah.
If you didn't get this on Amazon Prime Day, I believe that bundle is still available now.
I can verify this right now. It actually is still available, and it's still $78.90.
Yeah. So go get it, because it's going to lead us very, very nicely into our feature story. But this whole process of the Fire Stick, the controller, and Game Pass xCloud has worked really, really well. So we'll roll into the feature story with this. So we're now going into the feature story. So we're going to talk heavily about our thoughts and opinions and time with the Fire Stick and xCloud, because we've both had a go at it. We both played different games. And
Sean, you don't have to get the whitey.
You get the black one?
You can get Astral Purple, Deep Pink, Electric Volt. Now they come. I mean, I can get Electric Volt for $81.90.
That's quite a good price, because that's a nice controller.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't realize this, man. I don't know. I still might have to do this. I still might. Here's the thing, Sean. I have a white controller. I don't really care about it. I was gonna make the ploy that you could sell the white controller and blah blah blah, but I was like, I don't really want to go through that. I'll just buy the thing. Now I wish I would have looked at this, because now I wish I'd do this, because I would buy one of these cooler colors and then sell the white controller for like, I don't know, $45. And basically I got a controller and a Fire Stick for what? I don't know. Math's hard. Don't ask me. $40. I think $45. No, $30. Yeah.
Which is about the price that the Amazon Fire Stick 4K Max was during Amazon Prime Day. So,
oh yeah, see, Smasher did it right. He got the purple controller. Damn, I wish I would have known. I would have totally. I thought you had to get the white. That's what I kept seeing everybody show. So I was like, I don't really care. I already got a white controller. I'm fine. All right, I still might do it.
You guys over there across the pond. So
I still might do it. I'll report back next week if I got suckered in. Although I've bought a lot of shit. Like, I don't know. My wife's a little like. So I don't know if I can get away with buying something.
Is that why she's selling all the kids stuff?
Hey, Noah got a cut from that. No joke. And I didn't even bring it up. She walked up to Noah and she's like, "Here's $5." And I'm like, "What do you get $5 for?" She's like, "I sold his thing, so I thought he deserved at least part of it." And I was like, "Oh, that's really nice of you. That's way nicer than I would have been. So kudos to you."
Cool.
Yeah. So
just to elude everything, Timothy Ulf from the Nintendo Dads messaged. We have a little group with him. He messaged me and Nick with a picture of a Super Mario Bros. Wii U Deluxe suitcase that Nick's wife was selling on Facebook Marketplace, because they live near each other. So she's going through a purge.
Yeah, she is. She is. So, anyways, there you go. Feature story. The feature story is all about the thing that we've already been talking about, but now we're going to officially talk about it, and it's the fact that we have Fire Sticks. We on fire.
Yeah. I actually went. I didn't have a Fire Stick. I already had a Fire Stick. Sorry, you didn't have a Fire Stick. So this was like an upgrade for me, and an upgrade purposely for the fact I could try it and play xCloud before we did the show this week. So
yeah, that's a whole new world for me.
It was really funny as well because we were DMing back and forth, and I was like, "Oh, I bought the Fire Stick," and you were like, "Oh yeah, I bought it too." And then you literally, as you DM'd me to say, "I'm setting up the Fire Stick right now," I'm like, "I am literally doing exactly the same."
That's just so crazy.
Really cool.
Did you get to play it that night? I didn't. I had a soccer
I
game
didn't.
to go
I
to.
played it. I played it for about 45 minutes today. I played Cheer for 45 minutes today. So, because I played that on the console, I wanted to see what it was like via the xCloud.
Yeah,
so.
I got to play it today. I just didn't. Yesterday, I was going to try to grab some time, and I did not. So, I was amazed at how like I got it in there after I got done with like multiple updates. But that's not on Xbox. That's on the Fire Stick. But whatever. After I got done with multiple updates, I got to the Xbox app. That downloaded. I didn't have time to really do anything. So this morning I came down. I like entered the thing. I entered really quick. It was like, hey, welcome to the game. Welcome to the game, Nick. Have fun. And then I synced to my controller. I was waiting for like something to have an issue there. Nope. It was like, is this your controller? I was like, yes, it is. And that was that. And then I was off playing Dungeons of Hinterberg, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But it was like, I don't know. It was seamless. It felt really well developed. I didn't have any wait time. I didn't have any lag in the game. I thought it was pretty awesome, personally.
Yep, exactly the same. Just to very quickly talk about Amazon's quality in products. Lindsay turned the TV on via the Fire Stick remote, which is the way we usually turn the TV on because that's the first one we use anyway. And then I said, "Oh, I want to put the new one in." So like, I literally ran over to the TV, ripped the new one out of the box, did the quick swap, plugged it in, and then like sat down. And I was like, "Oh, I've done a bad thing here." Because now we've got to go through like remembering all the passwords for Amazon Prime, for all the other bits and pieces. And like, so I plugged it in, fired it up, and it was like, it remembered all the internet settings, which I don't understand how it does that, but it remembered the internet settings and just connected itself to the internet, updated itself, automatically logged me in and asked if like I wanted to use this account, which it did, which was great. Remembered all the applications that we had on there for like things like Disney, Netflix, Paramount Plus, even down to like the fake fireplace that we have sometimes that we put on if we're just sat reading in the living room. Just automatically installed all those. So yeah. And then like I said, I went into the App Store, downloaded the Xbox app. And then today when I fired it up, the only issue I had is the code that I had to put in on the Xbox website. That the TV gave me, so it crapped out twice. But that could have been an issue on my part. There could have been an issue with the website. It could have just been the fact that so many people in the UK were probably trying to do the same thing at the same time. But the third time, it worked. It was absolutely fine. Jumped in, played Cheer. Graphically, didn't notice a difference. A slight load difference in terms of like, I could flick through more tutorial hints, but I'm downloading it via 150 meg broadband rather than having it hard installed onto a console.
Yeah.
Graphically performed really well, responsive. The Bluetooth connection with the Fire Stick was fantastic. I was worried that because it was tucked behind the TV to be plugged into the HDMI socket that it was going to have issues with connectivity because I've had that prior before with things like the Switch controllers, with the Switch sat behind the TV, sometimes interfere with the Bluetooth signal. Not a problem at all. So yeah, exactly the same feelings as I had is what you had. It was very seamless. It was very painless. There wasn't much of a wait time on the Xbox side of things. It was a little bit, like you said, with the Amazon Fire Stick updating itself, but it's new tech plugged into a TV for the first time. It's going to update itself.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So all around, super happy.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little creeped out by what you explained because we didn't have a Fire Stick. So like all of a sudden I plugged in the Fire Stick, and I really expected it to be like, "Who are you?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, I know you are, Nick. Have a nice day. Here's your stuff. Thanks for coming. It's great that you bought me." And I'm like, "Wait, what? How do you even know it?" And so I'm guessing it's like tagging to the Alexa, figuring out my Prime account and all that stuff. That because we have multiple Alexas on the, and actually we not only have we have an Arrow, which I believe also is an Amazon product, if I'm correct. We have an Arrow Wi-Fi router. So I'm pretty sure all those things, it was able to figure out our thing. But at first it was a little creepy. Like it just like knew who I was right out of the box. And I was like, I don't, we've never had a Fire Stick, but how do you know? Leave me alone.
Yeah. I'm assuming it did the same for us, that because we've got the speaker systems on the same network that it was linked to, that it kind of just was like, oh yeah, we know you. Here you go.
Welcome back. I feel like that's what it does. That's it. It just plays a little song. It was good. I like it. It's fun. I played Xbox for the first time on the TV, and it's ironic. I got the 4K Max, whatever, blah, and I think the TV might be able to push 1080. It was an old 50-inch TV that a friend of mine gave me. He didn't want to deal with it anymore. And so it works fine. And so I just plugged it into that because it's down in the basement and it works it's a good place. It'll be a nice place to be like when I wake up early and I don't want to be in the living room because, sometimes little feet, you don't hear them and they come out and you're like, I don't know, slicing somebody up or blowing somebody's head off. And you're like, oh, hi, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Vietnam.
And so you're like, okay. I'm gonna put this up now. So now I can come down here and I can do all those things, and it's much easier to hear when they're like plotting down the stairs. That's the word I'm looking for.
The one thing I want to test is we go away at the back end of August. I want to test if we take it with us, connect it to a different Wi-Fi. Will it remember who we are anyway? But how well will it work? Is it going to be one of them? Is this the entry into the Play Anywhere? Can I take this on holiday with me? Can I plug it into a different TV? And can I, play all my Xbox games that I can via the xCloud? Can I play Cheer 250 miles away from home on the xCloud on a different TV? I'm automatically assuming that you can because I can do it on my phone anywhere. So why would this stop me?
Yeah, no, I'm sure you can. I mean, Smasher again brings up a good point of like, how is this going to work in hotel rooms? What's that going to be like? Am I going to, our business trip's going to be more fun than ever before. Great point. Probably going to depend. Hotel internet varies drastically from like a drip to some of them have awesome fiber and life's great. You get, in the bigger cities, I can run. If I'm in like Chicago and I'm on 5G with like full bars, I can actually run xCloud just fine off of Wi-Fi. So it all depends on where you're at. If you're at a hotel room in like Podunk,
it says there about hotspotting as well. So if I can connect this to my phone and the hotspot mobile is as good as you say it is, if you have decent signal or reception, will it work via my phone? Is there enough bandwidth?
Yeah. So if you're in a hotel in Podunk, Michigan, in the rural sticks, then no, you're probably if that's your. But if you're sitting in like, I don't know, the Detroit in an awesome hotel, then like a Marriott straight up in there, then you're probably going to be just fine. Probably going to have a good old time. So, yeah.
There is some lack of functions with this. Things like you can normally if you mash the home button and then press Y, you can record what's just happened for like the last 60 seconds in 4K, like at full resolution. You can do that. Or if you hit the home button and then the X button, it captures a screenshot. Or they might be the other way around. I can never remember. I always have to do it and then look. You can't do that with the Fire Stick. We talked about it a little bit earlier on today. I don't know if you got time to try it just via the console xCloud and see if it was just a Fire Stick thing, or if it's an Xbox thing. So
yeah, I had a really fun picture I wanted to take. I was when we talk about Dungeons of Hinterberg, I explain it more, but there's like it's a great place to slay. It was supposed to, like a play on like it's a great place to stay. So I had this picture I wanted to take, so I went to take it, and I was like, oh, I can't. That's a bummer. So yeah, I don't know anything else about the Fire Stick.
No, I mean, all your friends are there, so you can see who comes online. They still pop up at the bottom. It looks a little bit different than it does on the Xbox. It doesn't have the same colors and the same nice roundness. But Hambo and Johnny came online while I was playing Sheer this afternoon. So like I could see he popped up. You can see all your messages on there. You can pretty much do a lot of the stuff that you can do via the console and your xCloud via your phone and tablet PC. Yeah, it works great. They have done a really good job with it. It's really well made, well manufactured, and well polished. So,
yeah. You think there's ever going to be an xCloud subscription? Just like for people who just want this Fire Stick? $9.99 xCloud subscription?
I see it coming.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Makes sense.
Yeah. And they get so many more users as well.
I think so.
That's the thing.
I think so. Maybe it'll be wrapped into the mobile thing.
Yeah, maybe. And if they do that, I can see more games coming to cloud rather than.
Dude, what games don't come to cloud now? I mean, I guess Flintlock did come. I was gonna play. I didn't realize Flintlock wasn't gonna come to cloud until I got down there. And I was like, oh crap. Okay, well, Dungeons it is. So, because otherwise I was gonna play Flintlock, but never got there. So yeah. Look forward, folks. There it is. All right, on to the dashboard. Yeah, it's the dashboard where we talk about the things we've been playing. And Sean, what have you been playing?
I haven't been playing a right lot. I will be honest. I haven't had the time to play a right lot. It's that week that comes around every 4 weeks where I play very little games and work stupid hours. So the only thing I have been playing while I've had some time, I had some time today, and I had some time Monday evening, was some more Cheer. I have been heavy on it. I am thoroughly enjoying it. The soul jump function in that game is fantastic for moving around. I like the puzzles in the totem pole shrines, which is cool. Like you have to find the shrine, and then you have to look at the face of the totem on the door, and then you have to go to a totem stand, and you have to actually carve the right totem. So you have to like chip bits away of the face to make it match. Then take it to it and put it on. You can soul jump into the totem as well and kind of roll around as that if you want to have fun. So yeah, I've been playing that quite heavily. The story is still really good. I've unlocked the ability to have a camera, so you can take really nice photos. I've got a couple of screenshots that I've added that I need to have a look at on my phone and upload. But yeah, the game is beautiful. The music side of things is fantastic. I have stopped trying to do the notes because they're getting really hard.
Oh yeah. Do they add more notes?
They add more notes, but they also they come hard and fast. So the songs are getting faster and stuff like that. So they come hard and fast. So I just leave it to auto, or set it to auto play, and then if the song is like longer than 3 minutes long, which a couple of them have been, I skip the cutscene. Yeah. So that's all I've been playing.
I was trying to find how many hours I've put into Sandrock, but it won't come up on my library for some reason. My library seems slightly broken at the moment. Oh, I know why it's broken. It's like if only we would have podcasted about a server issue. That would have been, we should have done that. No, we did. That's probably the reason. Anyways, so I have been playing so much Sandrock, Sean. I am thoroughly addicted to it. And y'all know it, and I'm not going to talk about it much, but I'm first. My workshop's first. I'm making all the stuff. I'm going further in the story. I'm having a blast. I'm just living my best life in Sandrock, and my son's playing My Time at Portia, and he's loving it. He literally just made a My Time at Portia board game, which we are going to play when we get done. He was like,
Cool.
yeah, he was like working in the kitchen. He was like, you can't come in here. I was like, okay, that's fine. So yeah, he made this. He showed it to me right before I came down here.
That is where the food is.
Yeah, exactly. I wish we used the table more for food. I wish I could say we did. But I also played Dungeons of Hinterberg, which I haven't talked about, so I'll spend more of my time there, even though I've only played like about 2 hours of it. So this game is not entirely what I expected, to be honest. So basically, it's like, what if in the real world, like, what would happen if all of a sudden a bunch of magic showed up and there were a bunch of dungeons? What? And they like gamed it out in their head. They're like, well, for like a year or two, there'd probably be a bunch of research done there. But then, like, and I mean magical dungeons with like magical and like beasts kind of stuff. Like, sure, for like a year or two, we'd do a bunch of research. But then after that, what would we do? I bet we'd make it a tourist spot. So it's like slay the beasts. It's like a Disney, except instead you go there and you like get taught how to use your sword. You got to really like let go of reality here, Sean. Use your sword, and then you get like a ticket to go into these dungeons, basically. And when you finish the dungeon, they stamp your tourist book, and then you get to move on and you can buy more stuff. I only finished the tutorial mission, and to be honest, the fighting is, it's not like, I mean, again, I've only finished the tutorial mission, so let me like just lay down. I am not giving a review here at all, but you got a heavy and a light attack so far. There is some, like, you got to think about which one you're using when you're going to dodge, because you really so there's some like thought in the combat, and I'm sure that you're going to get more. There's some puzzles. I'm just about to enter my first green dungeon, and there are 25 dungeons in all that I can face. So if you love dungeon crawling, I would suggest you give this a go. It's got a fun art style. You're collecting monster parts, so there's got to be some crafting. I haven't got there yet, but there's got to be some amount of crafting or putting together or selling. And I'm collecting bucks too, and I know that gets spent on like potions, and it said. And you get magic. I can now make this like bomb, very very akin to like Breath of the Wild, except it's much bigger. And I can drop it and it'll roll, and then I can choose to remote detonate it and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I think I've been having fun with it, and I will try to carve out some time down here when I wake up a little early or whatever, and push forward on it, because the art style's fun. No voiceover, I will say. That's a bummer. I like myself voiceover because I'm lazy and I don't want to read. I can't, I mean, nothing else like I can really say except be honest about that. And so far, the writing is kind of just straightforward. Like, it's not like coming off of Sandrock where it's funny and it makes you like literally laugh. This is just kind of like they're just having conversations. Pretty dry at the moment, but maybe that'll change. So that's Dungeons of Hinterberg. I did not make it to Flintlock Siege of Dawn. Hopefully, I can get that done next week.
Fair enough. I mean, you played Dungeons and Hinterberg purely to test the xCloud as well, so you killed two birds with one stone.
I did. Yeah, it was. I could see myself doing that a lot, just being like, oh, I'll just play an hour of this just to talk about it, because I don't have to do anything except hit a button and it just kind of shows up. I get to be on a TV and a controller and all that jazz. I think it's. I don't know. I can do that on the Xbox too. I know somebody's gonna be like, you can do that on the Xbox, Nick. I get it. But for some reason, it hits different when I know it's just the Fire Stick and it's like right there and that's its main purpose. When it's the Xbox, I'm like, I have all these games downloaded. I probably should play one of those things I haven't downloaded. I don't know. It just, I can't explain it.
See, I'm the same. I turn my Xbox on and I go straight to the Game Pass tab and look at what's recently been added.
Yeah.
And then I look at like, oh yeah, I forgot that was coming. Oh, yes, I was aware of that. It's there. I'm going to download that. But while that's downloading, I'm going to go and play this. And then what happens is it pops up to tell me that the game that I'm downloading has downloaded, but I'm too engrossed in what I'm playing. I just ignore it. So.
Yeah. I know, man. I know. It's I feel you. I'm there. All right. Well, there you go. Let's move on to the Game Pass headlines. All right, out this week. Yeah, I'm magical. Speaking of magical, oh man, if I would have put that together, that would have been great. Also, this would have been a great segue, folks. If I would have had the Xbox Newswire open like I was supposed to, so I could have just jumped right in, but I didn't have it open, so I couldn't do that. Anyways, now it's open. So this week, Magical Delicacy. It was available day one with Game Pass. A wholesome pixel art platformer. Cook magical delicacies from a vast collection of ingredients in your own shop. Explore an unfamiliar town and deliver tasty treats to the townsfolk. Learn new ways to traverse, discover secrets, and experience a unique witchy world. Flock, available everywhere. Also a day one game with Game Pass. Flock is a multiplayer co-op game about the joy of flight and collecting adorable flying creatures with your friends. Soar through beautiful landscapes, seeking out rare and elusive creatures to add to your flock. And out today, we talked about Dungeons of Hinterberg already a little bit. It is available everywhere. It also is a day one game, just so you know. I'll read it just because it might give you a little bit more. Welcome to Hinterberg, a new tourist hotspot in the idyllic Austrian Alps. Oh, Austrian. I'm glad I read it because I really didn't know where this was placed. There are plenty of dungeons to find and adventures to be had in Hinterberg. Will you be sent packing on your first day or remain to become a master slayer, master magic, solve puzzles, slay monsters, all this and more await you in Hinterberg? I feel like that could be like the tourist ad right there. That's the tourist ad. Yeah. I can tell you what, I was not sent packing day one. I'm not a master slayer yet, but I made it past day one. So I just want to, say that. Flintlock Siege of Dawn, available everywhere, July 18th. Also available on day one with Game Pass. Hard to say words. Kill all gods in the upcoming action RPG from the developers of Ashen. Step into the boots of Norvanik, I think. An elite member of the Coalition army joined by Enki, a fox-like companion in their quest for vengeance against the gods. Weave in melee, gunpowder, and magic and rhythmic? Ugh, okay. Battles where combos chain together to create a deadly dance. You think they mean rhythmic, like actual, like, is there actually like rhythm in the combat? Like.
I hope not, because that's just turned me off the game a little bit if it is.
Yeah. Now I really want to play to see if that's the case. It's like a darker version of what's the game that got all the good kudos and then they closed the studio down?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, you're always there for me, Sean. Thanks. It wasn't coming. Yeah, so it'd be like a darker version of Hi-Fi Rush if that's the case. But I will play it. I will put some time into it. I won't play it all probably, but I'll put some time into it just to see what it's like. Sean, man, enough of me speaking. We need to get straight to you. Sean, tell us what is coming out next week, big guy.
Insert crickets here. Nothing. There is absolutely nothing on the docket for next week. Not a thing. Zip. Zilch. Zero.
Yeah.
It's strange to say. It has been a long time since I've had to say this, but there's nothing. Obviously, there's the rumors from Xbox insiders that's hinting that it's going to be a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. The fact that they've left the back end of July so open speaks very loudly that those rumors could be true. And we could see in the next, 10 hours that a placard of games will come out, or a placard with one game could come out. We don't know. We can't. If we could predict the future, we would, and we would tell you everything, but we can't, unfortunately.
We would tell you all things, but we cannot do that. It is not correct. Anyways, yeah, I would say, I mean, could we be getting like one of the showcase games? Maybe one of the showcase DLCs. Maybe not a game, but like the DLCs, maybe.
Yeah, Diablo DLC, I think is there.
Yeah, I think it's already out.
That's DLC.
Could we get Shatterfield? Shatter Space?
Oh, we could for Star World. Star World? Oh my god.
Man.
Anyway, moving on
We should
to next week's show.
We should play that Space Wheeled Shatterfield game. That sounds fun. I like it lots. I want to play.
Space Wheel. We just made 4 different games up there. Wow.
It's a carnival game where you just press the A button and spin the wheel, and then if you get tokens, and you can buy a puppy dog. There you go. Pretty sure that's probably a game in Starfield, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Right. Anyway, so yeah, there is a big gap for the rest of this month, which could be filled tomorrow morning when you wake up. Could be filled Saturday morning as you're, not Saturday morning because this audio wise will be out ASAP. So, keep an eye on GPT Gaming News, because as soon as anything drops, we will be letting you know. Usually as quick as Xbox lets you know. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's for sure. Usually I'm like, oh, look, there's news. I'll see if I can tell oh, no, they already know. They knew 4 hours
Social
ago.
team.
They knew 4 hours ago.
Social team were on it, yeah. They're on it.
Yeah. So. They're amazing. I'm like, okay, I'm always behind. I stopped checking because I'm never telling them something they don't know. I'm always like, oh yeah, they knew that already. Yeah, sure.
So games that are leaving has changed though. We obviously got past the 15th. We are now looking out towards the 31st of July. There's 3 games leaving. A Short Hike, which was a pretty nice game. I played that. I enjoyed it. Short Hike is an adventure video game by Canadian indie game designer Adam Robson. It's an open world exploration game in which the player is tasked with reaching the summit of a mountain to get a sofa reception. I really enjoyed this game. It's very beautiful. The writing in it was really, really nice. I played it and completed it. If you get a chance, go play it. It's a good game. The next one that is leaving is Train World Sim 4, which I haven't played. I think this was it John that played this and enjoyed it?
No, he hated it. And that's being honest. He broke his.
He lied. Loved it. No. Yeah. If you're a big Train World Sim fan, you'll like the 4.5 adaptation. There was a lot of stuff involved, lots of new updates and lots of things that were changed. I think also you could have a couple of different worlds as well. So that's there. Don't miss that if you like that style of game. And then the last one on the list is...
I love it. You're like, if it's Train Sim World, you'll love it. If you love trains and sims and worlds, then how can you not? And if you like the number 4, hell, how can you not like this game? I mean, this is like the game made for you. Trust us.
Hey, look, if I've played a game, I will give an honest review on it and an honest opinion. I haven't played the game, so I'm trying to be nice.
I haven't played it either. To be fair, so I have no idea. It was just funny. You're like, if you like trains and sims and you like the world, then how can you not like this game? All right, go on. I'll leave you alone.
And then the last game is Vember. This is a narrative cooking game developed and published by Visor Games. The story begins in 1998 and follows an immigrant Indian couple settling down in Canada and adjusting to their day-to-day lives in their new environment. I also didn't play this one. It was one that I did want to get to because I was quite keen and interested on it. So
I did, and it's really good. It's like a real. It's a slower story narrative game, so like you got to go into it knowing that. But man, the story is really good. Heartwarming, touch you right here at the end, not super long. Fun little, you say it a cooking game, like don't think like Mama's Cooking or something like that, or like the sushi game, the fast-paced sushi game. No, this is different than that. It's very different. You're making old world real recipes. You get recipes at the end of this game, like legit recipes for some of the stuff. And it's absolutely great. This is the first time ever that I've played two of the games, and I can actually like walk away from the leaving and not feel like I've missed out on a game that I wish I would have played. So, yay for me.
So yeah, that speaks words. So if you want to play them, you're going to have to hurry up because by July 31st they'll disappear off the system. So you won't be able to play them via Game Pass. Or if you're interested in them and you want to grab them for a decent price, you can buy them for 20% off the full RRP with your 20% Game Pass subscription discount. So.
Yeah, man. And I thought I'll check real quick Xbox server status just to see is Oh, it's gotten worse. Now it's accounts and profile and stores and subscriptions. It was just accounts and profiles. Now they're both gone. Now they're both down. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
well.
there you go.
I'm sure I'm absolutely. What time is it here? It's 25 to 2 in the morning here. It's 25 to 9 at night for you. So I'm pretty sure by the time you have played the board game that Noah is making, that nearly came out as Noah and Jay are mixed together, two completely different children. As soon as you're done playing that and you've got some sleep and you've had some family time, I'm pretty sure they'll be back up. So this is a good opportunity for you people that don't kind of stray away from your Xbox. Go speak to some people. Obviously, make sure you remember it's still there in the morning.
I love it. All right, I think that's a show.
I think that's it. I think I wanted to play Flock, but I haven't got to it.
What the Flock?
I quite like the premise of that game. Dungeons and Hinterberg, you've kind of got me interested, but I really want to finish Cheer. I am stuck in that game big time. So.
Cool. I love it.
Yep. And that, I think, wraps up another show. I think we are at the end of this week's podcast. Unless you've got anything else to add.
Take us home.
Cool. So we are the Game Pass Tracker Show. If you want to follow us individually, you can do. I'm Sean Abbott, and it's Sean Abbott over on X. You can find me on Facebook as well, but you'll find my weird face and my wife sitting next to me smiling, which doesn't happen often. I'm kidding. If you want to follow Nick, you can do. Nick is at Nick Tendo. That's Nick 10DOH over on X. If you want to follow the main channel for all the amazing news and kind of stuff like that comes about, you can do. That's at GPT Gaming News. And if you have any questions, any suggestions, or you just want to share your high score, you can send us an email at show@gamepasstracker.com. Just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that's listening, for everybody that has woken up randomly and decided, I'll see if they're online. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.